Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. The Madrid derby, boys and girls. We're here. We are here, and you already know. I only do previews for the games that matters. I only do previews for the big games. And this game right here matters more than anything else. This is a statement game for both teams. For both teams, there's so many talking points, so many storylines, so much to discuss, to dissect, to analyze about this game. We can talk about the game. We can talk about predicting my lineup, and most importantly, predicting the scoreline of this game. I've been 7 from 7. Every time I've predicted Madrid to win the season, it's come true. Let's make it 8 from 8. Before we go any further, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and of course, comment your own predictions. Listen, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, it's a big game, especially when it takes place in, where is it, Riyadh, but fam, for me, it will always be called Wanda. Wanda is a very tough ground to visit. The last time Real Madrid won there was 2022. You guys remember the game which was the whole Bayer Vinny, where Koke before the game said, if Vinny tries to dance in my stadium, I'm going to do something which he will regret. And guess what? Vinny did it alongside Rodrigo. We won that game 2-1. I remember where Benzema was out with an injury before the game. And in the last 12 years, believe it or not, Real Madrid has only won 3 times away from home to Atleti. It's not easy. And this is why I said it, I think in my watch-along, last Real Madrid game, going to Atleti, no matter if they are on a good form, or if they're not, or if they're in a bad form, form means nothing. Player performances, if players have not been doing well, it means nothing, because every game and every one of those players will treat this game as a final. This is what I mean. Listen, Atleti this season so far have only won 2 games. One of them was a convincing win against Villarreal, who's been very good this season. But the other one, they needed a remontada. They needed a Julian Alvarez masterclass in the last dying 10 minutes of the game to score 2 goals and to save them. So Atleti, they haven't been on the greatest form. But form, like I said, bro, means nothing. Especially Simeone, he's going to treat this game and he's going to make sure the fans are involved and the players, brother. You look at someone like, is he playing to start? Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann hasn't scored a single La Liga goal in the last 22 to 23 games. This guy is on a drought. But I would not rule past the fact that he might score in this game. So this is what I mean. If Griezmann, if you're having a bad game, the Madrid derby is the perfect moment for you to kickstart your form. And I'm sure every single one of those players are going to be on it, are going to be involved. In terms of the storyline, in terms of everything that rides with this game, Real Madrid are heading into this game with 7 from 7. 6 games in La Liga, 1 game in the Champions League. A perfect 100% record. The argument can be made towards Real Madrid is that they haven't played an actual tough team. We've played the Sociedad away from home, but that's a Sociedad team who hasn't been on the greatest form. We've played a Levante away from home, who's always difficult, if you guys remember in the past, but you can say that's a newly promoted team. We've played a Marseille, a Champions League game, but you can say it's at home and you're playing Marseille. So Real Madrid is yet to play or yet to have that statement win. This game right here is a statement win. This game right here will prove everything to Real Madrid. Will prove whether the Xabi Alonso project is actually in working in perfect order. Whether Mbappe is actually killing Mbappe this season. Whether the likes of Alvaro Carreras is actually having a great season. Whether the likes of Franco and Arda Güler is prepared for these kind of games to be a starter. This game means everything. There's so many storylines. Like I said, the storyline is, of course, Madrid playing away to Atleti after what happened last season in the Champions League. You guys remember the Champions League quarterfinal? The infamous, not quarterfinal, sorry, round of 16, the infamous Julian Alvarez penalty decision. So this is going to be interesting. In terms of me looking at the predicted lineups, the biggest story about this game is whether 2 of the injured players will be starting. By the way, I'm going to be creating the lineup which I think will happen. I think this is wrong. Not all of it are wrong. I think 1 or 2 are potentially wrong. Before I do that, in terms of Atleti's lineup, we look at this. Oblak, Longley, Hanko on the left-hand side. maybe I don't think I doubt they'll put Hank on the left hand side. I think they might. I think last game they had Galan play on the left hand side. In terms of the midfield, they've got Gonzalez, Barrios, Koke, Simeone. So interesting. There's no Baena. I do expect maybe Baena not to start. It's quite interesting. But as for Real Madrid's lineup, we all know there is one goalkeeper only who's going to be starting, and that is, of course, Mr. Thibaut Courtois. On the right-hand side, FootMob said they predict Raul Asensio to start. That is incorrect. Carvajal will start this game. Carvajal was rested just because Raul started the last 2 games. That is the reason why Carvajal was rested last game. And Raul, by the way, I'm not saying he's been very good. The last 2 games, the last 2 starts he's had, he's actually showcased great level and great form. But Dani Carvajal will be captaining the side, and Dani Carvajal will be starting this game. His partner next to him is Mr. Eder Militao. Eder Militao will be returning after getting rested. These 2 players got rested last game against, who was it? Levante, I think? Yes, against Levante. And then Mr. Dean Huijsen, the man, where's Dean? Mr. Dean Huijsen, of course, and returning back to his position, to his main position, even though he had a very great game as a centre-back, is Mr. Alvaro Carreras. This is going to be the back line, which I expect Real Madrid to field tomorrow against Atletico. Carvajal, Eder Militao, Dean Huijsen, and of course Alvaro Carreras. Then, this begs the question now, the midfield. The midfield is the interesting part because there is 2 players, let me just put them in, and then we can sort out positioning later. The 2 midfielders that's going to be definitely starting is Fede Valverde and Chemeni. Whether that's going to be a 1 pivot or 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, these 2 are guaranteed to start. The other players that are guaranteed to start is, of course, Kylian Mbappe and Mr. Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. having his best game this season and one of his best games this whole 2025 after his Levante performance, where he dropped a very, very good performance. And a goal, an assist, beautiful performance for Vinny. So this is what I expect. And I do expect him to be the same way and the same profile and the same system to what we saw against Levante. Where both of them played as 2 strikers. We didn't see Vinny just on the left-hand side. We got to witness both of them moving and rotating with each other, which is the best version. I mean, we all remember what happened, of course, in the 21-22 season. When Benzema left, Jude came in, Vinny and Rodrigo was playing as 2 strikers, as a left striker, as a right striker. And both of them were rotating, and we had a great season that moment. We had a great season, and that's what I expect us to do today, where we're going to see Mbappe and Vinny rotating and actually having a great understanding, because last game, we saw a great understanding between them. It isn't just Vinny on the left-hand side or Mbappe on the left-hand side. They kept rotating. The goal that Vinny scored came on the right-hand side. One of the chances that Mbappe had and the penalty came on the right-hand side. So we're seeing more fluidity and more movement at the front line, which is great to see. Then it begs the question on the last 2 positions. The last 2 positions has been shared by and occupied by 2 players who's been very good. Franco Messatuno, that with every passing game showcases great talent and showcases great performances. His 2 games ago against Espanyol played very well. Levante was his best game with a great goal on his weak foot. And the other position is someone who has made it his own. Has made it his own ever since Xabi Alonso gave him the chances in Arda Güler. Someone that I rate very highly about, as you guys know. Someone that has been very important in terms of the creativity in the final third. Finding the pass to Mbappe. Because he's the only one that tries to find Mbappe. And Arda Güler has had 3 assists, I believe, this season. 2 of them has come to Mbappe. Mbappe has scored a lot of goals. 2 of them came to Mbappe. So the Arda Güler and Mbappe connection is there. And understanding is there. So that's why I think Arda will start. There's no way I don't see Arda starting this game. Arda will be starting. The last position is the most interesting position because this is the position which there's a lot of question marks now. Franco Messatuno has been amazing. And Franco Messatuno has won the battle with Brahim Diaz. Start of the season, Xabi Alonso made it very clear. The right-hand side is between 2 players, and 2 players only. It's Brahim, it's Franco. And after 4 games in La Liga, one person started 2 games, the other person started 2 games. But Franco Messatuno, despite their age, showcased more encouraging signs from him in terms of him starting, in terms of defensively, in terms of him running. He loves to chase the ball. He presses, and even him on the ball, he's active. He's raw. Yes, he loses the ball. Sometimes he forces a dribble. Sometimes he forces a pass. Sometimes bad couple touches, but he's learning. With every game he's learning. With every game he's developing. And with every game he's improving. And now look at him. He's playing very well. And Brahim Diaz has basically now guaranteed as a B option. Franco has made that his own position. But the other person which I'm talking about is Mr. Jude Bellingham, who's come back from an injury. The last 2 games started. His first return played 6 minutes. His last game played about 20 to 23 minutes. So he's had 30 minutes under his belt. The question is whether he will start in today's game. I've seen reports saying that he will start. And I've seen other reports similar to what Footmom are predicting that he's not going to start. Personally speaking, I don't think we should rush Jude Bellingham in these kind of games, especially against the opponent. Atleti is a big game. And I don't doubt that Jude is telling Xabi Alonso, start me. I'm ready. But let's be real. The last 2 games, we've seen rustiness. We've seen that Jude is not there 100%. And I'd rather have him come off the bench, be an impact player. If the game is 1-1, 0-0, if we're losing 1-0, bring him in 60 minutes. Let him change the game. But him starting, I think it's too early. Let's not forget, this guy was out for 3 months. Let's not forget that he was supposed to be back next month. Let's not forget, we rushed him, but he's back sooner than expected. He's had 2 games. We've seen those 2 games. There is still the rustiness. There's still that he's not moving 100%. He's not there 100%. But he looks good. He looks leaner. He looks healthier. He looks slimmer. He looks better. But not fit to start, in my personal opinion. Especially at Atleti. We all know what Atleti's going to do. The moment they see Jude Bellingham start, Simeone is going to have a masterclass. Simeone is going to have a game plan to basically target Jude. And maybe Jude might pick him an injury and he's going to be out for longer. So why risk him? Franco's done well. Franco's done amazing. And I understand when Jude comes back, Franco's going to be on the bench. And that is how it works. When Jude is fully back, which is next month, Franco's going to be the one sacrificed. But for the time being, Franco should be starting because Jude is not 100% yet. So for me, the last position is Franco Mr. So the way I want Real Madrid to play is going to be this, but it's going to be very similar. Actually, not very similar because last game, Alvaro Carreras was playing as a centre-back and we had Fran Garcia playing more as a wing-back with Franco playing there. So I don't think we're going to see that, but I do think this is how we're going to play. We're going to play 4-3-3 like this. But there's going to be a lot of rotations between Vini and Mbappe, and they're going to be moving a lot this game. So this is how I expect Real Madrid to play. It could be this. Listen, it doesn't matter how it is. It can be this, but I do expect it to be this. So when we defend, we're going to defend like this. And when we attack, it's going to be like this. That's how I expect Real Madrid to play tomorrow. But listen, the game itself is not going to be easy. The biggest thing playing into our advantage is the left-hand side. Whether it's Hanko, whether it's Longley, whether it's Galan. The left-hand side is always the weaker side. The very weak, error-prone side for Atleti. Rodrigo last season took advantage on the right-hand side. So that's why the left-hand side is going to be interesting. That's why Franco needs to attack. But at the same time, Julian Alvarez is firing all cylinders. He's had issues with Simeone. 2 games ago, he got taken off the bench. Sorry, he got taken off after missing a penalty, and he was saying, why always me? Why am I taken out earlier? And then last game, he responded by scoring 3 goals. That's what Eder Militao and Dean Huijsen, they need to be careful. At the same time, Simeone is a very tricky, very fast, one of those players that very tenacious kind of profile where he loves running, he loves pressing. Alvaro Carreras, I think this might be his most toughest, really, you can say, on paper matchup. Kubo didn't start against against Alvaro Carreras, so that wasn't really a matchup. And I think he did very well against Mason Greenwood on the right-hand side with Marseille. But I think this game is his toughest matchup. My prediction for today's game, for tomorrow's game, is I've got two predictions in mind. I think Atleti, they're going to treat this game as their most important game, and I think our winning streak might be over. But at the same time, a part of me, and I'm going to go with my heart. My head is telling me this game is going to end 1-1. My heart is telling me, and you should always, not always, I genuinely think our winning streak will continue. And I think this is the game that we're going to look at Xabi Alonso and we're going to say to ourselves, you know what, Xabi? I said it last game. I can finally recognize my club. And I think this game is going to take it to another level. Winning away to Atleti is a statement game. That's a statement win. And I think we'll get it. And I think Xabi Alonso will put this team in a position to be successful. And I think we can win tomorrow. That's why, my heart, I'm predicting Real Madrid to win this game 3-1. I think Madrid will win 3-1. Mbappe will continue to score. Vini's going to continue to score. The same way he was dancing, he was doing the Bayer against Levante. This is the game where he's going to do the Bayer against Atleti. And I want Koke just even dare to come towards Vinicius, because not only would Vinny slap him, I would slap him as well, and I'm going to call him. Listen, put down in the comments what your predictions are. Let me know whether you would start Jude Bellingham, whether you would bench Jude Bellingham. And of course, most importantly, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow, 45 minutes early. I'm going to start the stream tomorrow at 2:30. Because the game starts at 5:15. I'm going to be live tomorrow at 2:30. Real Madrid against Atletico. See you tomorrow. Peace.